Hey guys, happy Friday. So last literature class, you guys went over and read chapter 7 and 8 out of your book. To to say a little bit about that, it was an interesting couple chapters, just because of kind of the description of what all happens to Cole. A couple things where at first he goes and he approaches the bear, and unlike most bears or wildlife, the bear did not run. A lot of people say that the animals are more scared of you than you are of them. In Cole's case, that's what he originally thought, but it didn't turn out that way. So when Cole approached the bear and it just continued to stand its ground, Cole then went with the knife to try and attack the bear. The bear in turn then attacked Cole. And the description of some of Cole's injuries were very, very detailed. It almost kind of makes you queasy to think about some of the things. The bear putting all its weight on his chest, and you can hear ribs cracking. The birds picking flesh off of his torn up chest and fighting over eating his flesh. Then him vomiting, and I mean, when you vomit, your whole body is convulsing. And can you imagine vomiting and feeling all of that pain because you have so many broken bones? Saying that his bone in his arm was just sticking straight out, and he could visibly see it. So it was an interesting couple chapters. Today, after you're actually going to go ahead and read chapter 9 and 10. 9 and 10 are also very interesting. If you got queasy with 7 and 8, you probably will get queasy again. Once you read those two chapters, though, I want you to go on Teams, and you're going to open the document that is called Touching Spirit Bear, Chapter 7 through 10, Character Development. This is all about how much Cole has changed throughout the novel so far. And after you read Chapter 10, you'll kind of be able to see a little bit of change occurring, more so than you have this far in the book. So what it says is, in chapters 7 through 10, we see Cole beginning to change his thinking about his life, his past choices, and his future. As readers, we can see his gradual change because of what he says, what he does, and what he thinks. The character's thoughts and actions give us clues to how the character is developing. So it says directions. To track Cole's development to this point, complete the chart below. Refer to the novel to find specific examples of what Cole says, does, thinks at different points in the story. Don't worry about complete sentences. Instead, focus on finding evidence in the book that shows the characterization of Cole at each specific point. So there are actually 2 pages here. Okay, they cover a handful of chapters. So it says what he says, what he does, and what he thinks or feels. And then you're going to talk about the beginning of the novel, which was chapter 1. Fill in those boxes. Chapter 2, when he is dropped off at the island. When he sees the spirit bear, chapter 5 and 7. And then down here you have after the spirit bear attacks him, chapter 8. And then you have when he realizes the tree with the baby birds had been destroyed, and then trying to stay alive. These, again, you won't read until today, but once you do, this is what I want you to fill out. Cole, we can say Cole is very, very angry. But it is kind of nice by the end of chapter 10 to see a little bit of change happening. So maybe he can change after all. I don't know. We'll see when we read more of the book. But just kind of gives you a little bit of a positive feeling in that regard. So other than that, that's what I'm going to have you do today. When you're done with that, turn it into Teams. It's not due until, Tuesday by midnight. With that being said, make sure you're continuing to read your AR books. Your next test is due on October 15th. It needs to be a fiction book. It needs to be at least a 4.5 reading level, at least 100 pages, and at least 4 points. So continue to do that. Make sure the rest of your homework is getting turned in. I know I have been contacting a handful of your parents, not necessarily yours, but a handful of parents for the 8th graders to discuss the missing assignments and that type of thing. So just try to continue to stay on top of your assignments and get things turned in when they need to be turned in. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys soon.